So we all have five senses, right? But some people have heightened senses, and that is how psychics and mediums, they can connect with the angelic realm.
Angels have been, especially since 2012, flocking to Earth, trying to help humans also raise their vibrations.
They are coming so close to us because the awareness is growing. They are also coming close to us. That's why a lot of people are able to see this. There are many, many signs through which angels connect with us. Now, one of the most important signs that normally people talk is through angel numbers. All right, so let's talk about numbers. So, what are your thing about the numbers? What do numbers signify to you?
So, for me, the way numbers show up has always been sort of a validation of, certain thoughts I'm having or a certain journey that I'm going through in that moment. But the biggest number that always shows up for me is 1111 and 444.
Okay.
So somehow these numbers, and the other thing I realized when again I was, going through my journey, 340 as a time on the clock always shows up. So when I looked into it and I was like, why is this coming up? I realized that that's actually my birth time. 340.
Interesting.
I was born at 340 on a Friday, and it just keeps showing up. So numbers show up differently for, for everyone else.
So this is what has been commonly asked to me all the time. What do numbers mean? What do numbers mean? So I thought, okay, let's talk about the numbers. So every time, people see the sequence of numbers, which are 111, 222, or 1111, I always say it's a sign that your angels are communicating with you. Now, let me decode all the numbers for people who've been asking, okay, I see this number, I see what this number means. Okay, let me tell you. So whenever you see triple numbers like 111 or 1111, I always tell people the angels are telling you it's a time for manifestation. It's a time when the universe is actually listening to you, and that's the time I always say, have a positive thought, make a wish, because that's the time when it's happening. It's in process.
Yeah.
So every time you see 111, every time you see 1111, it's because your vibrations are also in sync with the angels. Not everybody sees it, but those people who see it, they see it. I know so many people who time their phone so that they can see the numbers, but
Yeah.
that's not how it's supposed to
Exactly.
be. It has to be random. Now, where would you see this? You could see it on the time, you could see it randomly, number plates, phone numbers, currencies, the serial numbers. You'll always see the sequences, and it's just not once. If you are absolutely in that energy, you will see it many, many times. So that's 111 for you. Now there's another 222. Every time you say 222, I always say the angels are saying whatever you ask for, now surrender, because it's already in the process. It was interesting. Recently we did a class, and I said, from now, just go out and create. And when I saw the time, it was 222. So we ended the class exactly at
Exactly.
222. I said, these are the signs. The spirit guides, the angels are saying, go, whatever you ask for is already happening. So leave your stress around, you put your actions, but what you've asked for is definitely happening, which is 222. The next number that people see is 333. Now, whenever you see 333, every time you see 333 different places, it's always that the ascended master, the higher beings, are also taking care of you. Now, the higher beings could be anybody for you. For some people, it's Jesus. For some people, it's Hanumanji. For some people, it's Ganesha. For some people, it's the masters who walked on the planet also, Krishna, Ram, whoever they connect with, or there are other, ascended masters who are there. So the ascended masters are always there with you, around you. There was a time I was traveling internationally. I was all alone, and I was just feeling a little low, and I was just walking, and suddenly this whole song started playing somewhere. I believe in angels, and then when that song was playing, there I saw a car with 111. They just show your presence in such different ways. So I realized I'm not alone, and immediately I felt like a warmth coming in around me, and I knew that they are engulfing me. So they will show you presence in different forms. The next one is 444. So every time you see 444, the angels are showing their presence, that we are there with you. We are around you. So you do not need to even feel alone. So a lot of people think I'm doing all alone in life and there's nobody for me. Ever that thought comes up, you tell the angels, show me the presence, and they will start showing the presence. I love this number 5, because 5 is all about changes, big changes. So every time you see a 555, every time you see, whether it's your watch or anywhere, you see 555 flashing, it is big changes are going to come in your life. Big positive changes are going to come in your life.
Yeah.
And that's an assurance that they give you. Yeah. Whenever you see number 666, it always reminds you that, you know what, leave your material concerns, just work on your path, keep aligned to your spiritual path. I remember when I was leaving my corporate job and I wanted to get into healing full time, but everybody's like, are you crazy? You're leaving such a plush job and they're getting into something that you're not even unknown. But I wanted to do it because this is something that's very, very close to me. I remember there was a, angel card deck which had come. So when I removed the cards, so the first one is go ahead, we are there for you. And the third one was your material needs are going to be taken care by us. And that was the 666 number. But after that, I kept seeing 666 everywhere. Now, those people who watch a lot of horror movies, they think 666 is a number of devil. It is not. It's the number of angel. It's how you look at it. It's your perspective. I always say my focus is always with the light. I work with the light. Darkness doesn't affect me, and whatever you see is what you believe. So for me, 666 is always the angels telling you, forget your material needs. Don't worry about it. We are taking care of you. Then comes a number 777. Now, 77, whenever you see that, they are just telling you, you focus on your path, you focus on your work, you focus on your skill, the rewards will come your way. Yeah. A lot of people, I remember one of my client, she called me up and she was a little low and, she kept saying that, Ashish, nobody appreciates me, nobody appreciates my work and all of that. But recently I've been seeing a lot of numbers. I said, which numbers are you seeing? 777 everywhere. I said, just keep doing, you will be appreciated. And rightfully later on, she did tell me that it happened. I think they were trying to give her that validation, but because she was not aware of it, she could not really fathom it and get the meaning of it. Now, next number is again my number favorite, 8. Yeah. 8 number is all about abundance. 8 number is the infinite sign. So every time you see 888, it is giving you the sign that money is coming your way. Abundance is coming your way. That day I was driving my car and a client had called me and she was talking about her concerns with money and and there in front of me was a car with 888. I said, listen, stop. Money is going to come your way. Just wait. Have patience. So, as I'm speaking, I keep seeing numbers. As I'm speaking, I keep seeing things. And that is how they keep communicating. And 999 is basically, just work in sync with the universe. It's when you're on the life path, it's about endings and new beginnings. So every time there's 999, there is certain new beginnings that's going to start. So the chapters end and new chapters open up. So this is in like totality. Now, sometimes people might see combination numbers.
Yes, I was just going to ask you about that.
They might see 145. So 1 is basically keep your thoughts absolutely positive. 4 is the angels are with you and big changes are coming in your life. So if you understand all the numbers, then any combination number that you see is a combination of all these messages together.
And I also get this from a lot of people that sometimes they see too many sort of angel numbers in, say, for example, a day.
Yeah.
Should they take that also as a message that they...
So at that moment of time, they can just tell the angels, can you give me more clarity? Yeah, can you make it more specific? And then they'll narrow down to that. Absolutely. And that is how it will come to. Yeah. It's so interesting, when I'm traveling, whether I'm going to a hotel where I'm staying, I'll see it on the number board, Like one of my client, her husband was going through an operation and she was like really, really, petrified. And she said, angels, just give me a sign that you are taking care of my husband, that you're taking care of me. And the room that they were designed, the number was 1111.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
That's such a validation.
In fact, I had a similar experience. I was traveling to London for work and I had to make bookings very last minute. All the hotels were sold out. And I was just so nervous about everything because I literally had 2 days to travel. So I just put it out and I told the angels that you have to, work something out and help me. Within an hour, my friend sent me a link to the one only hotel in that area because it was actually a very quaint town near London where there was one room available, which was called the Angel Hotel.
It's so crazy.
And the room number was 444.
It's funny that people will say these are coincidences. These are never coincidences. You have to stop saying it's a coincidence. Once you acknowledge that this is how the invisible being connects with us and this is the synchronicities of the universe, you will start seeing more and more of it. It's amazing. I'm telling you the validation that they show. A friend of mine, we were doing a meditation. This was in my earlier time, when I used to work from home. So I had a room where I used to work from. So in the evening, I put the CD, which was about angel therapy. So we went into this deep meditation. He went off to sleep. So we were, meditating in the night. So we woke up in the morning straight. But when I woke up in the morning, just besides me was this big feather. Yeah.
Wow.
And there is no way a feather can come into the room because it was a closed door. So how did the feather land up next to me is a mystery. So angels show their presence all the time and it's amazing.
I actually had a question for you about channeling, because I have had, some great experiences channeling with especially archangels. For me, Archangel Michael has been, my go-to, and I've channeled with him many times. So can channeling be done by anybody and everybody?
Everyone can connect with the angels. So, of course, that's a choice. Everyone can even channel. But what are you channeling for is also important.
Yeah.
Because when you channel is a process where you go into trance, you raise your vibration so that you connect with higher vibrational beings. I do channeling, but I just don't channel angels. I also channel other light beings. I also channel higher energies. Now, it is all depending what you can do that for. So, I work for healing. I work for changing people's issues, and I also do something called as trance channeling, trance mediumship, where basically I work with different spirit guides to heal people, to help them release the blockages, and they are good at it, and why not take their assistance? So like I said, angels are always there to assist us, but for what are we using them is very, very important.
So would you have any easy tips for people to start attuning themselves? People who are very left-brained and, are...
See, first and foremost, if you want to connect with them, you have to start believing in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot be a left brain and say, okay, let me try them out. And, you can't go logical with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say, have openness and they will show the presence very, very easily. So don't go into the doubt. Don't go into the challenging mode. Because it's almost like challenging that, okay, prove me that you're there. But angels, of course, they do not judge you. They will also prove that they are there.
Yeah.
But why not take the easier path, So I would say the moment you open, so if you just start saying this, okay, angels, show me your presence. Show me that you exist, okay? Or help me with this. You'll be surprised. Now, they can help you with anything. They can help you with small, small things also. Like I tell people, start doing this, if you want a parking, start asking the angels, get me a parking. Or, I tell, if you're not getting a cab or something, ask the angel. I'm telling you, sometimes I fly back, and then I don't ask anybody to pick me up, the driver, it's too late in the night. So I said, I'll Uber it up. So that day I remember, I got down, and when I booked my Uber, it was showing like 15 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I have to wait for 15. I say, angels, can you just make this happen right now, And within 1 minute, the cab arrived. But it was still showing 15 minutes. So I told this guy, listen, how are you here? Because now it's showing 14 minutes, but you're already here. He says, I don't know, I'm here. So I'm like, you guys can do a lot of things for me, and I'm super, super excited about it. So let's talk about communicating with the angels. How can you connect with the angels?
Yeah. So one thing that I usually do is something called Gapy, right? Which is actually is very, very easy, but it's basically you ground yourself and you attune yourself to the source, right? And then you just simply have to invoke the angels, even if it's just in your mind. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to say it out loud. You don't necessarily have to write it down. If you just invoke, angels for any particular reason, like if you want to invoke angels of love or just archangels, and you call for them, they will be around you. So that's definitely one way, right? And like I said, when you're channeling, if you have a question for them, if you just ask them the question and take a pen and paper and sit down,
Correct.
they will communicate through you and you will get the answer. When you just start writing without thinking, the first thing that's coming to your mind, when you start writing that's them communicating to you
Correct.
on what you should be doing or whatever their answer to you is.
But our logical mind will always come in the way. Am I making it up? Am I faking it? So one of the way I tell people, write a letter to yourself through your spirit guide or through your
Yeah.
guardian angel. And then they will start writing, and just keep writing, close it, and then read it after a few days.
Yeah.
Then you're like, did I really write this? This is so amazing. Because at that moment of time, you think logically you're writing it, but it is they are writing to you. So, we are having a spirit class very, very soon where we can connect with the spirit guides and all. So, there is a very interesting, exercise that we're going to learn. It's something like spirit orography,
Yeah.
So, basically, you just take a piece of paper and then you take a pen, you connect with your spirit guide and the other person's spirit guide and ask them, okay, show the aura of the person. Then you start moving the pen without seeing the way it just goes away. Yeah. And then when you see, you'll actually be able to read the aura because they'll
Wow,
tell
that's
you what
amazing.
it is.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's bang on. You can do it from anywhere. You can do orography of someone who's in US. You can do orography of someone who you don't even know, and you'll be able to get so much of information from them. So there are a lot of angels, a lot of beings of light who come here to give us more knowledge, to give us more information. So if you learn how to tap into them, they will help you with that also. So there is a lot of philosophy that the angels
Yeah.
or the spirit guides give you also, because there are some learned beings who are in the spirit world who wants to still give information out and help people elevate. I also communicate, or I also channel interdimensional beings, and one of them being Arcturians, who are basically,
Yes.
they're not angels, but they are absolutely beings from another planet, and they have connected with me. And there was one class that I did when I did the channeling of the Arcturians, the Arcturian healing. It's phenomenal. They are such intelligent beings, and now they are coming again, as I said, closer to us for us to become more intelligent, for us to grow more faster and quicker and evolve at a faster rate. So yeah, there is so much more. And I also say one of the way of connecting with them is just sit in meditation.
Yeah.
Just play some nice music and just close your eyes and ask the angels to give you a message, to give you a sign, and they will. So just sitting and connecting with your spirit guides is very, very
Yeah.
easy. We just have to get out of our head. We just have to get out of busy life, and just giving 5 minutes or 10 minutes just to sit in silence and ask them to show the presence, ask them to show, give a message will pop. And this practice, if people start doing on a regular basis, connecting with them will be very,
Yeah.
very easy.
So what I've seen is that angels also, do a lot to bring ease in your life, right? So
Correct.
if you're, say, for example, in a situation with somebody, if there's another person involved and you don't know how to tackle it, you can actually request your angels to talk to their,
Yeah,
their
they're
higher,
guides.
higher being and their angels to then bring some communion and peace between, the two of you. So these kind of things, they actually, like you said, they don't interfere, but when asked, they intervene, and they can actually help bring so much ease around you.
Absolutely. And then how can we forget our tarot cards, and how can we
Absolutely.
forget about oracle cards, where basically, there are cards, basically there are million card decks now, but there are card decks that you can connect with, and that becomes like a medium. The angels speak through them. And believe me, I've taken so many decisions of my life just based on the oracle cards, just based on the tarot card, because something that I completely connect with. And till date, for me, it's always a mystery that how does this card work? How do they give exactly the answer that you are actually looking for? The guidance that you're looking for comes randomly out of the card. There's so much to explore. And I think, learning about them is a pure, pure bliss. So, yeah. So, we are planning to do the angel class,
Yes.
very soon. So whenever people would love to, if they're interested, they can join the class and learn so much more about connecting, communion, getting messages, angel therapy. I used to teach this course years back as called as angel medicine, where how you can heal other people through the higher frequencies
Yeah.
of angels. There is so much that you can do with the angels.
Absolutely.
So
In
yeah.
fact, when you spoke about, the orography, there's also something that they teach you called stroking auras. So actually using the light of the angels, you stroke people's auras that, you want to help
Yeah.
with, and actually help cleanse their auras of any sort of energies that they've held on to, which honestly makes an amazing
So as
impact.
you're talking about stroking auras, there's also something called as cord cuttings, that
Absolutely.
Archangel Michael's and the other angels help you. You cut those cords which are unhealthy, you cut those psychic cords which are unhealthy, which are attached to us. And everything is attached to us energetically. And sometimes it drains our energy, it keeps us stuck. So when you learn how to do all these things, it's so much easier. You free yourself from the energetic muck, and then you start feeling more lighter, and then you're more joyful. So yeah, so many things that We can keep going on and on
Absolutely.
and on. But yeah, this is just a little introduction to people about our angels and our beautiful friends in the spirit world, the invisible world that are always around with us. And yeah, it is fun talking to you about
You
this.
as well. I'm so glad we were able to
And
do
I
this.
hope, people got a little information about how to connect with angels. And remember, each one of you watching right now, you have angels next to you. Yeah. So believe in them, ask them for assistance, ask them for help, and tell me how it worked for you. Comment down and tell me about your angels and your experiences. Till then, see you soon. Bye bye.